I feel like I'm a major part of this problem because I've been working with so many student loan companies that majority of the time students think that student loan is an amazing investment. And many times even I have said that student loan is an investment, but it has a lot of cons. I mean, it is my responsibility to tell you that if student loan is good, there are bad things associated with student loans also. And if I only talk about the good things, I'm a hypocrite because no one on YouTube is talking about the cons, and there are major cons of a student loan. So in this video, I'll talk about major cons of a student loan. What are the things that you should know before taking a student loan, and what are the things that you should avoid, and why you should not take a student loan, in what cases you should not take a student loan. So without further ado, let's directly jump into it because it is my responsibility that you do not go wrong. Probably you might end up not taking a student loan and I might not end up getting money, but I'm comfortable doing that if your future is secured. So first major important thing is right now in India, if you go and take a student loan, you will be getting a student loan between 10 to 18%. Let's on an average take 15%. Let's suppose you're getting a student loan on 15%. Then you'll have a moratorium period. Let's suppose you're planning to go for a master's. That's the best case scenario. If you go for a bachelor's, you'll have to take a loan for 4 years. That's extremely long period. Now there are many students who end up going to USA and say that since everyone is taking a student loan in USA, let me also take a student loan in USA. And they end up taking a student loan of 60, 70, $80,000. So somewhere around 40, 50, 60 lakh rupees, they end up taking a student loan of. Now, for those of you who think that everyone in USA is taking a student loan, an average student in USA has a student loan of 80,000. So what's the difference? I'm an international student. I'll also pay back this money. Keep this in mind that USA is going through a student loan crisis, actual crisis, wherein the federal government is stepping in. Federal government is paying off the loans of the students. Listen to it very carefully. Federal government is paying off the loans of students because students are not able to pay their loans on their own. Now, many Indian students get happy that okay, government will pay back a loan. Remember one thing, they'll pay back the loan of their own citizens. You are no one for them. You are an international student who has taken a loan from Indian bank because obviously you'll not take a loan in USA. You do not have a cosigner in USA. So you're taking a loan in India. So any student loan waiver that would happen for the US citizens, not for you. So unka jo bhi hoga, they'll have something. Even if they're unemployed, they'll get an unemployment benefit. Let's suppose now you decide to take a student loan of 30 lakh rupees. You will be paying 66 lakh rupees back if you plan to take a 12-year student loan, which is ideally the tenure of a student loan. 12-year mein you will be paying 66 lakh rupees back. For a 30 lakh rupee loan, you're paying back 66 lakh rupees. And that's not it. Each month you would be paying 54,000 rupees. God forbid something goes wrong, you're not able to pay 54,000 rupees. Within 3 months, your loan would be NPA. So every month for 12 years, you're going to pay 54,000 rupees. Now some students will say, oh, I'll do one thing. I'll make a lot of money and quickly pay off the student loan. Now that's another bad thing with Indian banks. They charge you a prepayment penalty. Let's suppose you make money and you decide to prepay the loan. You do not want to pay so much interest. You want to prepay the loan. They'll charge you another penalty for it. So whichever loan that you're taking, make sure that it has a very low prepayment penalty because you never know what's going to happen in future. Let's suppose interest rates are damn cheap, which is going to happen in some years. What happens in that case? Mark my words, in 2 or 3 years, you will find student loans at 8%. You would be a person who has taken a student loan at 15%. Now you want to prepay with the loan, they'll say, give me 2% extra. So whichever student loan provider that you're taking, make sure that they do have limited prepayment penalty. In fact, if they have no prepayment penalty, that's amazing. I started recording this video and the weather outside is so gloomy. So probably you might just hear showers now, but that's because this is a serious topic and maybe nature knows it also. Second thing is in India right now, there is 8.51% NPAs of student loans. What does that mean? 8.51% people were not able to pay back their student loan and whatever they had kept as collateral, most probably house of their parents, that is going. So that is why whenever they say collateral rakh lo na, sir, keep a collateral. Be very sure what you're keeping as collateral. And if you're not able to recover that money, they're going to take that collateral. 8.51%, that's a huge number. One more important thing is impact on life. Guys, student loan restricts you. There's something no one talks about, but if you end up taking a student loan for 12 years and you have to pay an EMI of 50,000, you're gonna work for next 12 years. Unless you end up in a very, very, very amazing position, which I would hope you do. If you don't, you'll end up paying back this student loan for 12 years. Let's suppose you plan to start your own startup. That would ideally go out of the window unless you have done something really amazing. Finally, what happens if you do not get a job? You also have to keep that into consideration. So a student loan which, God forbid, you're not able to pay but your parents can afford is the only student loan that you should take. Now let me talk about what is the I talked a lot about the negatives. Let me also talk about a silver lining and what you should be knowing. So if you have to take a student loan, it should not be more than 50 to 80% if it is a STEM degree. STEM degree means science, technology, engineering, mathematics, because getting a job after a STEM degree is very easy. So for a STEM degree, go ahead, take a student loan of 50 to 80%. But that's it. Do not go on 100%. I have some students who tell me, I have 1 lakh rupees, can I go for study abroad? There are many counselors who will tell you, you can go, you'll get 100%. Please don't risk all that money. Yeah, probably if you have your parents who can pay back the money if something goes wrong, that's fine. But then don't risk itna zyada. And in case you're going for a non-STEM degree, 30% is the max limit that you should be taking a student loan, unless your parents can pay back the money. If your parents can pay back the money, definitely go ahead. If your parents cannot, then 30% is the max limit that you should be taking. And one last thing, if you have your own money, go ahead and spend it. Listen to it carefully. If you have your own money, go ahead and spend it. Don't be frugal if you have your own money. Honestly, that is the best investment that you can do. Education, in your education, that's the best investment that you can do. But when I talk about student loan, I just want you to be a bit cautious, because I know I've talked a lot about good things of student loans. I know I've talked about how you can get a student loan cheapest. I've talked about no collateral student loan, all of those things. But it is my responsibility to tell you that it is bad also. So that is why I felt like this was my responsibility and I made this video. If you like this video, then you might also want to watch this positive video on student loans, because negative bana liya, positive bhi sun lo.